The Anglican Bishop of Abakaliki Diocese, Reverend Dr. NKWOAGU, interacting with newsmen in Abakaliki, Ebonyi State capital, on the essence of Easter Day celebration, the expectation of Nigerians in the new leadership elect in 2023 general election, the new Naira note design, what the people suffered, and what Nigerians expect from the policy makers in the nation. Don't forget to subscribe and drop your comment at the comment section. I will bring to you this from the Mirror TV.
Easter for us as Christians, Easter signifies victory for the church. It signifies salvation for mankind, victory over evil, because we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, who died to nail evil and liberate man and bring transformation and bring salvation to mankind. Had he been, he did not rise from the dead, then our hope would have been lost. But his resurrection, as he said, after 3 days, he has given us hope that there is transformation, there is victory over death, over Satan, over evil, and rise into new life, the life of God, that brings joy and peace in the society. So every year we celebrate it because it is very, very important to us. It reminds us of this victory. It reminds us of this transformation. It reminds us of victory and power over evil, Satan, that the Lord has given us through their resurrection to live as transformed Christians in the world, and maybe through us transform the society, living the life of resurrection of Jesus, the resurrection, the new life, the life that is free from sin. That is why from year to year we celebrate this particular important event in Christianity. Jesus died, carried our sins, died, buried it, came alive, new, free, lifting burden from us, giving us freedom. And so that is the freedom we celebrate. A lot of lessons are also there. It signifies victory for us, but there are lessons we need to learn. Something led to Easter. And what led to Easter is the Passion Week, the sacrifice, the suffering that led to this victory. For you to have a victory, a permanent victory, you have to do proper planning. There will be sacrifice, there will be challenges, and now will lead you to victory. And the lesson we need to learn is that as Christians and as Nigerians, let's take it easy. Let us gradually, patiently, sacrificially work for the good of this country. People are not willing to sacrifice anything. They want to enjoy all, no pain. Sometimes this saying that no pain, no gain. Nobody wants to suffer. Everything easy. We gather all of them. No. We sacrifice and suffer to build something. After building it, you enjoy it. But in Nigeria, this kind of thing is not there. Jesus himself laid down his life for the good of others. For Nigeria to be good, we'll have leaders that will be able to lay down their life. Not really dying, but sacrificing. Bent on bringing out good, not minding the challenges. And at the end, the good will come. God ought to be at the helm of our affairs. Fear of God ought to be. And that's where Nigeria has its own part to play. While God is there to make things work for us, we too as Nigerians need to fear God, live in the fear of God. abhor evil. Go away from things we know are not right. Not everything is right. Not everything is right. Not everything is good in making money, making wealth. You will know what is right. Corruption is evil. You know, the Bible says whatever seed you sow, you reap. We have sown corruption so much and we're reaping it. And Jesus came, lived selfless life. Live the life to make others happy. And when others are happy, he is happy. And if our leaders will live such a selfless life to make people happy, and when the people are happy, they are happy, Nigeria will be better. But when they live only to make themselves happy, and when they are happy, others or majority are not happy, crisis, violence, all kind of things happen in the country because few are happy, majority are not happy. We should run away from corruption. The fear of God ought to rule over us. Let me say this final thing. I pray we will learn it. I like country Nigeria. And just as somebody has said, God so loved us. If not, the kind of thing happening in Nigeria will have set this country on fire. And probably by then there will be no a country called Nigeria. But because of the love of God, no matter the extent the thing goes, we die down and peacefully we will be moving on. The election has come and gone. Painful in democracy is the definition of democracy. The definition of democracy we read and we hear from time to time is that democracy is a system of government where is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. You have people mentioned 3 times powerfully. But there's no God. So God has no place in democracy. Government of the people, for the people, by the people. And so people do whatever they want to do. No fear of God, because God has no hand in it. I know who might have formed this definition has a good thing in mind, but today we've just turned it to be people. People use money to buy people. People buy people to kill people. So it's all about people. And people get this power and hold it themselves, everything up. No fear of God. And had it been democracy is defined as a government through God, by the people, and for the people. We will have fear of God. That this government is through God. And we fear God who instituted it and who allowed us to lead people created by God. And we're able to fear that God can judge us. And whatever we do it with the fear of God. But when it is all about people, you care about God. And you care nothing about God. You can kill. You can do all kind of things. Look at the past election. All kind of stories you hear. Visible, practical ones. And they are true. And nothing will be done. It's all by the people. I felt pain when the slogan was, if you're not happy, go to court. It means you have planned something. You just planned by the people, for the people. Now if you go to the court, who are in the court? People are in the court. People you've brought with your money, and you look for justice. Look at our, judiciary, their activities today. Sometimes a high court, probably in a boy state, will pick a case and declare one kind of thing. And another, the same level, high court, in another state, pick one case and declare another thing. So courts, judges fighting themselves. I don't understand. Inconsistency in judgment. Which one do we follow? And so people now are losing confidence in the judiciary. And that's why I go to court, don't go to court. People say, we know what you are doing. That's why they're saying, we know. You have planned it because court seems not to be the last hope. Seems not to be trusted again. It shouldn't be. Well, it's all about government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So God can go to places. Until God comes back in our government, things will work out. But as long as God is far away, human being, God said the thought of man from the beginning is always evil and wicked. So we continue to go this way, sowing evil seed, reaping evil seed, still crying. May God help Nigeria.
At this level now, Do we still have hope in Nigerian democracy?
Well, I don't know how to answer it again. But I want to say, as long as we're alive, we have hope. We have strong hope. I don't want to go into politics, but we have strong hope. That hope is if Nigeria recognize God and do whatever they do in the fear of God, not just looking at all of us as human beings. When you look at human being and fear, fail to fear God, you do things looking at human being. You don't fear. But Nigerian democracy can become a good one if we have the fear of God. And the leadership coming in, I pray they will come in and have the fear of God, to do things in the fear of God, that after here you have judgment and you have a temporal time to live, whether 50, whether 70, whether 100, is short. You go and answer. So the time you are alive, you'll be able to fear God and put things in the right perspective. Your administration be in the fear of God. People will rejoice because you'll be doing it with the fear of God. So I hope strongly that if the presidential and the presidential level, the legislative level, down to local government in states, if there will be fear of God in leadership, Nigeria will stay.
What hope are you giving the nation as advice to the nation in terms of this?
Particularly 2023 celebration of Easter is a celebration of hope and victory for Nigeria. Hope and victory in the sense that we are eagerly expecting new administration, which we expect to be different from the old or the present. And that the new administration will bring hope, will bring transformation, victory over what has been evil in the past. And when we talk about the society, the things we are passing through, the insecurity, which is the greatest of all, no peace, killing, kidnapping, banditry, all kind of things that has brought fear into the life of people in the society. Lack of job for graduates, what we are suffering like electricity problem in Nigeria for some days now. We have no power supply, and I don't know when we'll have. The reconstruction of our roads, everything that make a country to be good, we are expecting it in the new regime. So this celebration is a celebration having hope that the new government coming is bringing new things that would benefit Nigerians. Particularly beginning of this year, January, down to this time, you go to bank now, they will say even the old notes is not flowing the way people expected. I think what I would say is a major problem is that the new policy may not be bad. The new policy going cashless had its advantages. In fact, one prominent and very open one is that the rate of kidnapping for money ceased within this period. Because you kidnap, you get no money, transferring will be tracked. And so it ceased. That's good. We don't want this kind of insecurity of life in the country. But on the other side, I also feel that probably the initiators of this policy did not make adequate plan. And so the thing couldn't work successfully. They took all the cash and nothing was dropped in. I don't know. Because they would always say there's money, some people, came and carried it for election. Then we have not prepared. If we have prepared well, loopholes supposed to be blocked. In fact, the president was saying something that this is to help us have a very free and transparent election where nobody will use funds to influence anything. But the way the thing went, I don't know whether he worked out that policy very well. So the cash wasn't there. People were suffering, and at the end, you go to the bank, you don't get the new money. Some homes had to go, for some days without food with children. It was not planned very well. And I pray whenever any new policy is to be executed, let there be thorough planning. And, thorough planning, so that in executing it, it will not, hit hard on the people. Now we are somehow back to using the old money. What have we achieved? After suffering people, we went back to the same thing we say we are going out from. So it's not really planned. And whoever sabotaged it, the eyes of the government should have reached that there may be saboteurs and be able to block them, so that they will carry it very well and push funds the way it's supposed to be very well. And people by now would have forgotten about old currency, old cash and things like that.
So what do you think should be done? You said it was not properly planned. What do you advise to the government to ensure that this money we have it now before that time that was given?
Yes, I think what is proper, if Nigeria planned very well, from October down to December, it's not quite long, but if they plan well, they will have supplied enough and feed the banks and monitor the banks and monitor the management of these banks, so that nobody will play in a funny game in the thing. But it was left open and people were using it to do all kind of things and suffer. So if it will work this time, my advice is that if we're still going back, I don't know if we're still going to go with the new currency, except we are leaving the old one to continue. If we're still going to go with the new currency, let the government sit down, think deeply, plan critically, produce this money. The enough quantity that will go around and begin to withdraw the old cash, old currency gradually. Since they've given us between now and December, so that between now and December you will not even find the old currency again. Anyone that goes to the bank never come back, and when you go to the bank you get a new one. Not when you go to the bank they will give you the old currency and ask you we are changing, or by December we are not going to have. Today, in fact, go to many banks. I don't know whether people still get new currency. So it's all old. What is happening? What is happening? And given us December, that's why I said December will still suffer the same thing. We suffer maybe more, because those who hoard it will still do it. Those who no good plan. Let this money come out enough. It's supposed to be between now and middle of the year. The old currencies will be scanty, very scanty in the society. Everywhere will be the new currency. And the education orientation will go on to tell people the plan is not to hoard this money or withdraw the money and put in the house. Do you know something? Because of this experience, people learned what we intended to achieve. We only encourage people to go deeper into it. When they went to the bank, no money coming, nothing. Any small one that comes in, they go and put in the house. You go to the market, you sell as a businessman, you get a small cash. Nobody wants to go to the bank again. So the same thing we are running away from that. We don't want so much money to flow. We want it to be controlled by the bank. We are now encourage people to hoard the money. And I want to tell you, with the news that by December, I'm telling you before December, new something will be packed into people's house, because people are afraid. They don't know what will happen. Let there be enough, and let the old one be withdrawn gradually. Anyone that goes to the bank, let it not come out. Let the new one come out. But when there's no new one, the old one will continue until December. We will begin again. May God help us.